Guys, filming alone is getting tough. But today, Marco's back! Yay! I'm so happy to have my sidekick next to me. Woo!
So hi everyone, welcome again to another episode of Marcobella. So after a long time of being absent, due to domestic reasons,
domestic reasons.
Overwhelming domestic circumstances, extenuating domestic circumstances.
It wasn't extenuating domestic circumstances though. It was an amalgamation of issues.
Amalgamation of issues. That's what we're going to go with. That narrative will work fine.
Amalgamation of issues, not domestic issues. It was like other issues that were affecting you, baby. It wasn't just domestic issues.
But again, thank you to everybody who was praying, who kept me in their prayers. It's good to know that, you know, all your support, I've been able to come back, which is great.
Yeah, people were really worried about you. People were worried about you. Like,
I mean, I would be worried about any one of my friends anyway, so. Yeah. So we're having this conversation today.
Yeah, we're going to let you into a little thing we like to call couch time, hence why we're in a different setting. It actually feels kind of cozy, doesn't it? But before we get into our couch time conversation, Mark came up with this brilliant idea to challenge you guys to do activities that will help your relationships to grow. So if you're not married, maybe you're dating, you can still have couch time. Or you could have couch time with people that you need to mend relationships with or discuss situations with. So if it's your best friend or your siblings or whatever it is, couch time is still relevant within any relationship.
Of course. I think it's great to actually have couch time because you can sit down and find out exactly where they are.
Yeah, even if they're children, like young children, like Micah said.
So maybe a good time to actually do couch time as a family, if you've got teenagers and so forth, is to do it after you've had your Bible studies or your family altar, whatever you call it. Because at that point, you find that everybody's quite relaxed and people feel more open to share. And so you might find people will readily tell you exactly where they are, you know, and then you can kind of pray about that if that's what you do as a family.
Yeah, and don't worry, we will give you a format for how couch time is run. But we want to challenge you this week to at least do one couch time minimum. One couch time with whoever you need to do the couch time with, and then give us some feedback. The reason we want to start challenging you guys is we're going to have our 12-year anniversary on the 17th of August, 2022, just in case you're watching it in the future. And we are going to do our first giveaway on the Marcobella channel. We're going to set you a challenge every video, and then only people who are subscribed to our channel and do the challenge, right, that week, and say done in the comment box. And of course, guys, you could just fib and just say done.
Fib?
In the comment box,
no,
but that's not going to help you.
No, because we're all about growth and character.
And we are a Christian channel, so we would hope that people wouldn't just fib that they did the challenge.
No.
But yeah, so we want to challenge you to do couch time, guys. So watch the video through, see how we do it and demonstrate it. We do have some questions for you as well throughout the couch time, which we would love if you guys could help us to answer them. You know, just because we've been married for nearly 12 years does not mean we have all the answers. We need some answers from you guys. Practical tips on how you guys make it work. We've just had a second child. So thanks, guys. So we've been doing couch time since we got married. Well, not exactly since we got married, but probably, when did we officially start couch time?
It's probably year 2 or 3, I think it was.
Yeah.
I think it was after we got the share bag.
Yes.
So there's something we call the share bag.
The share bag, I've got the share bag here. And it's basically, it says share anything, no matter how big or how small.
So to put everything in context, in our house we don't really have a TV. Some people think it's for religious reasons, but no, we just don't have a TV because for the most part we just enjoyed actually, you know, having conversation and spending quality time together. So,
and we feel like if you have a TV, it just takes up your time. Like it just is consuming because you just end up clicking.
So one of the main objectives that we have within our family is to just improve our relationships, and so the best way in which we could do that is by having couch time. And that just allows us to talk through, you know, what's happened in the day. Is there anything that's sort of blocking our communication, and just to understand where the other person is, because you find that a lot of the times people go to work, right, and because you're not experiencing the day with your partner or your spouse, you're growing in a very different way to your spouse. So unless you actually bridge that gap and have that communication and talk about those things that have either had some sort of impact on you, you'll be growing in different ways.
That's true. And I think the thing about couch time, because you might be saying, well, we talk all the time. Couch time is like designated, undisturbed. I'm looking for the word.
No devices.
It's like
protected.
Protected time. Couch time is protected time.
I didn't know that was the word you were looking for.
Protected time.
Social worker.
Yes, you need to have protected time where nobody is going to be interrupting you guys. So if you've got kids, make sure that they're either in bed sleeping for the night, or they are being babysat, or whatever it is. You do not want kids running in on your couch time or screaming or whatever it is, because you need to get yourself into the zone. And if you remember the video where we talked about the 5 levels of intimacy, couch time is one of those where like you'll start off like, how was your day on like level 1, and then you like work your way into level 5, and sometimes it can take a long time. So you want to make sure that you've got minimum, I'd say 30 minutes to an hour for couch time. You don't want to have any less than that. We're not going to keep you here for 30 minutes to an hour, guys. But that is so important that you schedule in time. We used to be able to do it every single night. Now that we've got a newborn, woo!
We haven't done couch time in years, isn't it?
A long time.
I mean, to be fair, it's not like we sit on the couch now and actually talk through some of the stuff. We just do it whenever. For example, you know, we could have a conversation in the kitchen, or you know, whenever we catch up in the day, just to say, hey, what's going on? Or I've noticed this about you today. You know, do you want to tell me a bit more about that?
There's something special about the couch that I do miss, and hopefully we will be able to get back into that as Rhea's getting older and we get into more routine and stuff.
I mean, I think I know what it is about the couch. It's the fact that obviously couches tend to get you all relaxed.
Relaxed and cozy.
You're not in a rush to go anywhere.
And you can have your cuppa. And, you know, so yeah, that's actually step number 1. Make sure you get cozy. Make sure you've come home, had a shower, relaxed, you're in your comfy clothes. You've made yourself a drink. So now we've got our drinks and we are ready to roll. Oh my gosh, by the way, you have to taste these cupcakes because they're just so delicious. I already had a bite of them. I was supposed to wait till we filmed, but I was just like, oh my gosh, they're so good. Those are the coconut ones that April made. What do you think? I know you're joking, right?
I think she must have put salt by mistake. They're actually tasty. They are Moorish.
So guys, we are just gonna get right in and we are gonna go ahead and talk to you about the structure of how we do our couch time. You can do it in any way that you feel suits you, but I'm a social worker, so we like to use the signs of safety method. Yes, we social work our family. The signs of safety method is just a simple structure that starts with what's working well. So you want to start with the positives, because if you're going to go into some things that are worrying you, you want to at least prep people by saying some good things that are happening. What's working well, right? So you talk about what's working well for the week, and then you go into what are you worried about.
Well, I was going to say, for example, you could say in the what's working, you're looking at, you know, thank you, you know, for, I don't know, making breakfast this morning. That really helped me because I was able to, you know, make up the time that I had missed when I woke up late. Or thank you for, you know, just praying for me this morning, you know, helping me in some way that you did. I appreciate that about you. Thank you.
Thank you for getting my cassettes ready every morning and allowing me to sleep in and catch up on the night's sleep when I'm not sleeping.
There you go. There you go.
That has really helped me.
She's actually thanking me officially. You're welcome.
So yeah, and then you go on to what you're worried about, which we will talk about more when we start Mark's session of couch time, because today's all about Marco coming back and we want to get into some stuff about why he was off and like what he's worried about. And then what needs to happen. So if you have highlighted any worries, you then want to find a solution for that worry. You might not always find a solution, but maybe what needs to happen is we need to pray about a solution for this issue, you know? So without further ado, normally Mark will write something in his journal, something that he wants me to read, and then I will read it, and then we will go, okay, so let's talk about this. So like one of the working wells that's in his garage that we did this weekend is...
Garage. Beth says garage. Garage.
Oh my gosh.
But anyway,
Beth says
yeah,
tomato, potato.
Exactly.
Okay. So he says, we worked incredibly hard to clear the garage. And what a result. Yeah, we worked hard, guys. 2 skip runs. Mark swept that garage so clean. It looks amazing. So that's like a working well, right? Okay. And then we have been allowing Marco to have a break, and I would like to get into what was that about, Marco? What was that about? You took, was it 2 weeks in total from filming? Tell me about it.
The harsh reality is that I was just overwhelmed. I was overwhelmed by, I think it's a statement, I'm overwhelmed by the amount of things I have to do. I'm trying to think where that's from, but that's from somewhere. So I was just feeling overwhelmed by responsibilities, from work to home to new kids to church, responsibilities at church. And then there's just some things that were weighing on my mind in terms of, you know, how we continue to improve, especially looking at myself. So yeah.
And I remember, I think it was 2 weeks ago on a Tuesday, and you basically were like, my shoulders are hurting me, I'm so tired, I'm drained. And yeah, I could see that he was just at that level. So
I was going to say, you know, I used to laugh at those people who sleep with like, I don't know, mountains of pillows. But it was only, I don't know, probably about 6 months ago that I actually realised, you know, I do the same now. Because it actually helps keep my neck up, and that way my shoulders don't hurt. Because I've got these really broad shoulders. So.
Yeah, so he was in pain. I tried to give him a massage, but it didn't work.
No.
So then what we realised is actually was stress related, and as he said, he was just overwhelmed with everything. So yeah, you had an SOS visit from your parents, didn't you, until like midnight?
I was about to text my folks saying, Mark,
I
she's
didn't
gone to bed.
text them.
And you know what it's like. So normally, statistically, as you probably know, you know, people depressed tend to sleep more. And so,
no, oh my gosh, it wasn't even that.
because
Your
I
mum
went
was
to bed.
calling to find out how you were doing, and then I said he's sleeping.
and
And
she's
he's
like,
not doing very well, because
Yeah,
I've got to be honest, right? And then she was like, oh, okay. Then I said, I think he's just getting overwhelmed with everything that's going on and all the responsibilities he has, and it's just a lot. I mean, the first time when we had Micah, you didn't have as many church responsibilities.
No.
And now you've got loads of church responsibilities. For those of you who don't know us, or people who are just meeting us on YouTube, Mark is head of the youth at our church. He's also head of Sunday school and a deacon, and he preaches from time to time. He song leads almost every week.
I'm the full-time musician and also full-time worship leader.
Yeah, and he also helps with whatever else needs to be done in church, if that means packing chairs
Cleaning.
or cleaning or whatever.
Sorting things out.
He literally will do it. So sometimes it gets really overwhelming. And when we had Micah said, you didn't have all that responsibility on you. So you had time to be like, actually, I just want to sleep, you know. But now it's like maybe during the day you might have phone calls and stuff from people, or visits you need to do, or that kind of stuff.
I think what's getting overwhelming is that I'm having less and less time to recuperate. So before, I could manage, you know, with all of those things, I could still manage because I was having time to myself.
Yeah.
And I was able to work through all of that, you know, by journaling and also having conversations, cow time and stuff like that. That helped. But where now we've got 2 kids and life is so hectic, it's like, you know, I feel like a hamster wheel. And so I don't really have as much time to recuperate and to kind of, I don't know, filter through my thoughts and work through everything and then get back to that place where I'm like, actually, I'm okay because of 1, 2, 3.
So that's probably telling me that we need to find some kind of a solution. And we were talking about this, that we need to schedule in some time for us and some time for ourselves as well, because life is just spiraling. At the minute, it seems like, you know, things are just getting added and added and added to our diaries, but we're not really like being intentional about, you know, putting some protected time in. And so I think we need to do that. We need to say, you know, maybe if it's once a week on a whenever, you're gonna have you time and you're gonna go off, make sure you're not, or we're gonna go off, whatever, if you want to be in the house.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not like I don't get, you know, 20 minutes, half an hour, just that, you know, every now and then to kind of just, you know, have some downtime. But what it is, like you're saying, before I had protected time, so, you know, when Mike was about, you know, between sort of 1 and 3 or maybe 1 and 4, you know, he'd go to bed early, you know, say about 6. And then Beth would go to bed about, I don't know, 7:30, 8, 8:30, 9.
Guys, sleep deprivation, okay?
Well, there you go.
I needed to catch
And so I'd have that time from about maybe say 9 o'clock at the earliest to about say midnight to myself to just kind of recuperate, you know, journal. I don't know, just do anything that I want to do within that time. But now, you know, Ray's sort of waking up every 45 minutes to an hour to 2 hours, you know, and then Bethel's got like 1,000 million requests. And then there's,
how is that coming
as
on
Micah
me now?
said, I still
oh my
have
gosh.
Hey, you've got to find a scapegoat. And I still have to, not have to, but I still desire you know, to be just as available to Micah said.
I think that's the trick is that
family.
with the second child. So guys, when you jump from 1 child to 2 children, it's not like it's double the work. It's like 4 times the work.
And there's people with 3,
crazy.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 kids laughing at us, but hey, you can laugh all you want. It's
but
still
apparently
fun
the
for
biggest jump is from 1 to 2, and then
suppose,
thereafter
yeah.
it's like, nah, it doesn't matter anymore.
But you've got a lot to learn, so please, any kind of
support. But it's like
offer.
once, you know, Rhea will like go through the night, right? She's awake, she's still feeding through the night, okay? So we're up through the night a couple of times, and then Micah Seth will come in at like 6:30. So you don't even get like the morning when she finally nods off and she wants to have a good long stretch till about 9. You don't get that sleep. You wake up and you have to go get breakfast, get Micah ready, go to school, da 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 da. By the time we come back, I try to get him to sleep, but Mark's not one of those sleep in the day people, unless he's not well, which is what happened 2 weeks ago, which is why people panicked, because he doesn't sleep in the day. So yeah, that's what happens. So I tend to go to sleep when Rhea sleeps, and then he watches her. So he's kind of working round the clock. It's not kind of, you know, conducive for him. He's not really having a time to just break. So then when Micah finishes school, then Mark is out playing, doing the whole dadlyhood thing, and you know, being an awesome dad that he is. But yeah, I think we do need to think about you having some you time and some downtime where you don't have anybody able to contact you.
Can contact me.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's a balance with that, because some of those things are what makes me me, and those are some of the things that actually help me recuperate. For example, I love engaging with people. I don't mean to my own detriment, so I don't go overboard and sort of, you know, talk to people all the time. It's all within balance. So, you know, for example, you've got, I could have somebody call me for an hour, hour and a half. But that's also beneficial for me, because I'm able to actually talk to someone, and it could be that I might share where I'm at and what I'm going through, and so that will actually help them deal with that, and also help me invariably just to get better.
I get you. I hear you, but the thing is, generally, when you tend to have visitors, or when we have visitors, you tend to end up counselling. And we love our friends, we love you. But what ends up happening is, we tend to go to like level 5 conversations a lot with people. And then you end up counselling or giving advice. There's certain friends who will counsel us, which we love. We love it when our friends can come over and we can go, oh my gosh, we're just struggling with this. Can you help us? But often it's like, people come around and they're like, oh, I'm so stressed, I've got this, I've got this, I've got this. And obviously we just push everything to the side and just listen to whatever's going on.
I mean, I don't know. I've got to a place now where, you know, it doesn't matter who I'm talking to. I can always share at level 5 and be able to actually open up about where I'm at. So it's not like it's not just one-way traffic. I hear you in saying that, you know, sometimes there are cases where you'd have to just sit there and listen to, you know, where the other person's at and what they're going through. But for the most part, actually, that process is quite beneficial to me, because, you know, it's also using your gift. You know, there's that thing of like.
It's draining you.
It is draining, but this is what I was saying. You know, I was able to recuperate.
It is draining you. So.
And actually because of that downtime, I was able to actually just get back to myself.
It's the same thing, like, okay, in social work, because you pretty much are like a social work, but in church form, right? Like in social work, we have supervision, which is where you come and go, okay, so I've dealt with this, and this issue. I feel like we probably need to think about you having some downtime where you're able to do what you want to do. Reflect, journal, go play basketball, sleep.
Yeah, that's never going to happen in the daytime, the sleeping part, but yeah.
I think what Mark's biggest issue at the minute as well is that our house is not as tidy as he would like it to be.
Only because I do like clean spaces where I can journal, because obviously if I'm trying to filter through my thoughts, normally I tend to want a space where it's quite tidy, so I can actually do that in a healthy way.
So now it's like if Rhea's play gym is out, or like the breastfeeding pillow is there, or I'm just naming things that I can see right now behind the camera.
Or the cushions are everywhere, and it's like,
yeah,
I can't just come and sit down. And so I'm gonna have to sort those things out first before I start journaling.
So like that's where me and you are really different. I don't know whether I've like learned that, because most moms have advised me that like when your baby's sleeping, just sleep. Don't bother that the house is not clean. Like just go to sleep and rest. But then you can't do that for some reason. Like you can't just switch off and go, do you know what? I'm just gonna just chill for now and I'll get to that later. Whereas for me, I can do that. I can go, you know what, right now I am just chilling and I'll get to that later. But then like that's causing conflict for you.
Absolutely. I think it'd be interesting to hear what the audience think, because obviously I'm the, as Bethel's just said, I'm the sort of guy where I can't go into a space and sit down when things are untidy. I have to sort things out first and then sit down in that space.
But then it just means that you're carrying most of the weight.
Absolutely.
If I'm waiting and like, I'll do the dishes after I've slept for an hour or something like that. In that hour while I'm sleeping, he might do the dishes. So then it's more pressure on him. Yeah. So it becomes really tricky. Yeah,
so all of those things combined, that's the reason why I had to take some time out, because I was just feeling overwhelmed. And I wasn't getting enough journaling time all the time to protect the time to actually recuperate. And so I was just making sure I had that protected time whilst Bethel was filming, and did a marvellous job at filming as she did. So yeah.
So guys, thank you so much for listening. So we literally just did couch time actually. We want to challenge you though this week, and it's something that Mark came up with, this idea about giving you guys challenges. So this week we would like to challenge you to have couch time in however way and format you feel is good for you guys. And then comment in the comment box below, like if it helped, or just if you've done it, just say done. So we hope that's been helpful. You got to see some of our level 5 conversation. We did pause at some point and really like go deeper into it. We're like, actually I don't think that they need to hear everything we discuss in couch time. Also, you guys would have been here for like an hour. But please like and subscribe and take part in the challenge. And we'll be so happy to do the giveaway soon. And Mark is going to do a video on journaling, because somebody asked about journaling specifically. So he's going to do an in-depth video on how he journals.
How to journal.
Okay, that's coming up in the next video. See you guys. Have a great week.